Well, good afternoon. Today is Sunday the 18th of February and I'm going to be taking a look at a problem that's happening here in Phuket. The local media have been reporting it over the last few weeks. I've had a few comments in my Facebook group regarding this. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about jellyfish affecting the beaches here in Phuket. It started right here where we are now in Panwa. That was the initial report, but we've had reports come in as far north as Bantao, and only last week a lady commented that her son was badly stung. Her 5-year-old son was badly stung on Yanui beach and had to go to hospital because it was that bad. Now, Phuket does normally have jellyfish, but the ones that we have in the waters at this time of year in February are not normally the dangerous ones. We do have the box jellyfish, and I also believe from time to time the man of war is in the waters as well around Phuket, but these only normally come into the waters in the rainy season and the monsoon season, and of course February is not the rainy season, nor is it the monsoon season. We normally get them sort of August, September, July, October, that time of year, but for some reason we are getting affected by them in the month of February. So I thought I'd come down to Panwa because there's a lot of people in my Facebook group, if you haven't already joined it, link in the description down below, that are asking me, are the beaches safe because of the reports that are coming in. Now personally, I haven't seen any jellyfish. There's Jack pulling faces behind the camera trying to distract me. I haven't personally seen any jellyfish lately, but I have seen some on the beaches when I've been out and about. So I thought I'd come down, take a look at a few different beaches, and that's what we're going to do on this video. We're going to start off at Panwa Beach, which is just behind the camera. It's not really a great beach here at Panwa because Panwa has several hotels that have restricted access to the beaches, and why I say that is a lot of people refer to the beaches here in Thailand private beaches, and this is a misconception because there aren't any private beaches by law in Thailand. They're all public beaches, but what you have is the land adjacent to the beach can be owned by an individual, a private individual, and he may not allow you to go across his land to access the beach, which then people say it's a private beach, but technically you are allowed to access that beach via a boat. So if you've got a boat, or you know somebody you want to rent a boat for an hour, you can go on that beach. So there are a lot of those type beaches here in Panwa, but Panwa does also have a small public beach, and the beach just over there is Panwa's beach. So Jack's pointing something in the water saying it's big, and they are fish. I don't know how well and clear the camera's going to pick that up, but there's a few fish there, but as you can see, no jellyfish, not at the moment anyway. Yeah, quite a few. So let's make our way down to the beach, and straight off the bat I can't see any evidence of any jellyfish on the sand here, even though there has been reports of jellyfish in this area. Fish, plenty of fish. So maybe over the last few days the problem has subsided a little bit, but we're going to check out a few more beaches. If I see somebody I can ask, I will ask them as well, because of course I don't spend all day every day down at the beach, even though I live out here, so I don't always see what's going on. But it is somewhat of a scorcher today, as you can see. For those interested in the weather, it is beautiful at the moment. We are getting some absolutely cracking weather, no doubt, and that's why I'm very surprised we seem to have a jellyfish issue, because normally they come inland during the rains and the storms, because that's what brings them in close to the coastline. But when the weather's like this, very settled and sunny, normally we don't get much of a problem. And as I say, I cannot see anything here on this particular beach. And looking at the water's pretty clear. Now I will mention that there has been reports of local vendors running out of white vinegar, because apparently white vinegar is what you use to treat the stings of the jellyfish. Now, I'm not a jellyfish expert, and I'm certainly not a medical person, so I'm not quite sure whether that information is correct. So if anybody actually does know whether white vinegar, and I mean can back that sort of statement up with facts, if that is correct, then please do make a comment in the section down below, because I'd be interested in knowing whether that is actually factual. Because a lot of people ask me in the group about how should they treat a jellyfish sting, and obviously, not being an expert, it's difficult to comment when you're not sure the advice that you're giving is correct. So I'd be interested in to know if white vinegar is actually effective on different types of stings from jellyfish, because bear in mind some of the jellyfish here can be quite lethal. The box jellyfish and the Portuguese man of war, these are very dangerous jellyfish indeed. But I think in Phuket waters we have a mixture of jellyfish. Some are more dangerous than others. Now I don't know whether you can use white vinegar on all jellyfish stings or whether it's only on certain ones. So again, if you happen to know, then please let me know, that would be appreciated. But if it is something that you can use to treat jellyfish stings, then it might be worth bearing this in mind if you're coming to the beach and keeping some white vinegar, because you can, from some of the supermarkets, you can buy the smaller bottles, so that's easy to carry in your rucksack, bag or whatever, should you have an instance where you get stung by a jellyfish, because sometimes they are difficult to see in the water, because some of them are almost transparent when they're in the ocean, so they can be difficult to see. But at the moment I cannot see any signs of any jellyfish here on Panwas Beach. So let's now move beaches. So we are at Yanui Beach now, and I've got to say this beach is looking really busy today, but that's no surprise because my gauge on my motorbike is saying it's 35 degrees and it is blooming warm to say the least. So let's have a look to see whether there's any jellyfish at Yanui Beach. Well, one thing's for sure, there's plenty of people. In fact, I've never seen Yanui Beach looking so busy.
Yeah, really.
I've never seen it looking this busy. I must admit, it is extremely busy.
In all the years that I've been here.
Yeah. Well, they're saying in the media, Phuket still isn't as busy as it was in 2019. According to the 2019 figures, that is, but I have to disagree, because I've been here for quite some time, living here, and in 2019 Yanui Beach was not this busy. And how do I know? Go and have a look at my channel. You will see Yanui Beach filmed in 2019, and there was definitely not this number of people on it. So let's have a look, see whether we can see any jellyfish. I don't see any people running out of the water, that's for sure. And I can't see any signs on the shoreline. We're just round the corner here is a Nahom. Wow, very nice indeed. In fact, it's a little too warm today, if I'm honest. The sun is very aggressive. And I have to walk around these boats. There isn't a lot of space. Wow. It is very, very busy. But I would say Yanui Beach does not have any issues at the minute with jellyfish.
Maybe they just prefer jellyfish versus 35 degrees.
Yeah, maybe it's just too hot for them. Now I have no doubt that there were jellyfish here, but I think we had just a spate of them and now they've cleared up, because I don't see any evidence or people. Well, I wouldn't imagine there'd be an amount of people in the sea if there was a problem here on the beach. Now just before we leave Yanui Beach, I just want to mention this is a great beach to come to if you want to do some snorkeling, because of the rocky areas at either end of the beach, and in fact there's a rock just over there, as you can see. So this is one of the better beaches. I get asked all the time, where's a good beach to go snorkeling? Well, this is one of them, because there is a lot of rocks over there. There's also rocks around the corner and rocks here leading towards Nahon Beach. So if you're looking for a good snorkeling beach, you won't go far wrong here. So we've just arrived down at Kata's Beach. When we came in at Kata, we originally came in at the southern end, but it's so busy here that we've had to come up to the northern end to park the bikes. Once again, a lot of people in the water. Now it's a little after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have spent a wee bit of time on Yanui's beach because it was really nice over there. We're not in any rush, and I think we're going to have to carry on this in the morning to take in a few more beaches. And not being a jellyfish expert, I don't know what time the jellyfish come around. Maybe they don't like the afternoon time, but once again I don't see any evidence at all of jellyfish. Now I'm not saying there aren't any jellyfish, but what I'm saying is there isn't lots of jellyfish. You may encounter the odd few down at the beach, so you need to be aware of the fact that there could be jellyfish in the water. Looking at the beach today, I don't see anybody having any problems at all. Oh, he's going in fully clothed. Hope you ain't got your phone in your pocket. The last time he did that, he'd got his he'd got his router in his pocket, which didn't do it a lot of good. A little bit cloudy just here with the sand, but the rest of it's looking very, very nice. Okay, well, we've taken in a couple of beaches and so far I haven't seen any real evidence. Maybe it's because it's in the afternoon, maybe I need to come out in the morning. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to carry on this in the morning so we can take another look at a few different beaches just to make sure what the position is. Welcome back, and it's a few days later than the original day that I started filming. I wasn't able to get back in the morning the following day, so I've come today instead. It's a little after 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've been doing a little bit more research into this jellyfish issue that Phuket seems to be having, and from what I'm reading and hearing, the problem seems to be worse in the morning than it does in the afternoon. So that's why I've tried to come out in the morning so I can take a look at it. We're down at Karon's Beach now. I've also spoken to a customer of Nat's who's over here on holiday, and she's also confirmed there are jellyfish in the waters at the moment. Last week she said she was on Kata Noi's beach and there were hundreds in the water. That's her words, not mine. And she said she felt that uncomfortable she had to come out of the water. However, she did mention the ones that were in the water at that time weren't the ones that sting you. They were just the small round ones that haven't got the tentacles, because she said that people were picking them up and playing with them. Something that I wouldn't advise people to do unless you know about the marine life. Definitely don't pick jellyfish up, because you don't know unless you have some knowledge of jellyfish or whether they are going to sting you or not. So that's something to bear in mind. So let's now take a look at Karon's Beach. Now, as I say, it's a little after 10 in the morning and already the beach is very, very busy. Now, having spoken to the customer of Nat's, I've got a feeling the reason why Phuket is suffering with jellyfish at the moment is to do with the winds. Now, normally, as I mentioned, we do have jellyfish in the waters around the island of Phuket, but they're normally further out at sea. But just lately we have been having a spate. where it's been quite windy, actually quite breezy, and it may be the wind that's blowing them in close to the shoreline, and that may be the reason. But you can see yourself, for just a little after 10 o'clock in the morning, there are already a lot of people on the beach. Very busy. Now I'm down the southern end of Caron's beach at the minute. I'm going to go from here up to Patong's beach and see whether there's any evidence, but it is morning time, and she was saying that the instant that she saw the jellyfish, it was in the morning around the 10 o'clock mark on Katanoi's beach. Again, somebody commented in my Facebook group that there's been jellyfish on Surin's beach as well, and that's been in the last few days. So again, I don't see any evidence of loads of jellyfish along the shoreline. I'm sure there may be some in the waters. I think what I would probably recommend is you just be aware of the situation, and just when you're in the water, keep an eye out. Of course, if you're over here with a family and you've got children, then it would be best to keep a very close eye on the children, because of course you don't want them getting stung. As I've mentioned, there are some that will sting and there are some that won't, but it's very hard to know which ones are which unless you've got a lot of knowledge on jellyfish, of course. So I would recommend a bit of caution. I've got to say, the beach is looking very, very busy again today, just like the other day when we looked at the other beaches. Very, very busy. A lot of people here, a lot of people. It's certainly not stopping people from going in the water anyway. But maybe carry a small bottle of white vinegar with you, just in case. You can buy the very small bottles from the supermarkets, they do sell them. And they're only very cheap, something like about 10 or 15 baht, so it might be worth just having a small bottle in your handbag, bag, whatever the case may be, just in case. Because of course, if you haven't got any, then you're going to be relying on local vendors to maybe have some, and I've already read that some of the vendors are actually running out of white vinegar. Okay, so now I'm going to make my way up to Patong, and we shall have a look on Patong's beach. It's a little bit more cloudier this morning, but I was reading in the media yesterday that they're predicting a heat wave over the next few weeks here in Thailand, with temperatures reaching a record-breaking 44.5 degrees in some areas of Thailand. Not Phuket, but this is in areas such as Isan and around there. They are predicting Thailand to have some very hot temperatures. So again, if you're going to be coming out in the sun, I would recommend you look at your suntan lotions and pick a high factor. Yesterday was a very warm day. I had a day off. Me and Nat went to a local spa and spent the day there in the pool relaxing. Nat had a very nice massage, etc. But it was 37 degrees yesterday, so very warm day indeed. But let's now jump over to Patong. Okay, so we've just arrived over here in Patong. We're going to take a look at this beach and see what's happening over here. It's coming up to about 10:30 in the morning now, and again, very, very busy. Lots of people in the sea, I can already see. Down the southern end of the beach, and as you can see just over there, quite a lot of people in the water. So let's just make our way to the shoreline, have a look, see whether we can see anything. I haven't seen any at all on the actual sand itself, so I would say if there are any about, they're just off the shoreline. That's where people are seeing them, when they're actually swimming or out in the water. So February is proving to be a very popular month over here in Phuket. Very busy this month. We've had some cracking weather. As I mentioned earlier, it is a little bit cloudy today, but that's only to be expected because we've had a run of about 2, maybe 3 weeks of beautiful weather, no rain at all. It still hasn't rained. Even when I was out the last time and I thought it was going to rain, it didn't actually rain. We're going to have some sooner or later, of course. Maybe today, maybe a little bit later on because of the heat. But as you can see, no real evidence. People are reporting them, but I'm not seeing anything on the actual beaches themselves washed up. They must be out in the water. You just need to keep an eye on the weather as regards the wind. Obviously the more windier days, maybe that's what's bringing them in closer to the shoreline, the wind. So when you've got a really windy day, just be aware that there could be some in the water. You can see yourself the beach. Not packed, but reasonably busy. There is a little bit of wind today because of the movement on the flags, as you can see yourselves. But again, like I say, there's plenty of people in the water enjoying it. Can't say they blame them. Okay, so we've just arrived down here at Camelars Beach and I'm entering about middle of the beach really, just down from the Sun Prime Resort, over the bridge that gives you access. Now somebody mentioned to me on my YouTube channel that I never feature anything to do with garbage and sewerage. Well, there you go. That doesn't look particularly nice here, I must admit. And this is the bridge that leads down into Camelars Beach. And you can see this canal. Now this actually goes round the corner and does exit into the sea. And looking at the water here, it doesn't look particularly nice. So when you come to Camelars Beach, I would recommend that maybe you make sure where you're swimming is away from the exit of this canal. And just over there is the exit, so make your way a little bit further north. But I just thought I'd mention it because I do cover stuff like that and they were saying, well, you never do. Once again, the beach looking fairly busy. It's just gone 11 o'clock now in the morning and there's again plenty of people in the sea. And we're going to walk over to the shoreline and see whether we can see anything. But up to now, on the 6 beaches that I have now covered, we haven't seen any evidence of jellyfish on the actual sand, whether it be in the afternoon or whether it be in the morning time. I haven't seen anything. I don't dispute that there is a problem here at the moment because there are a lot of people reporting it. It's just too many people not to be factual. I'm sure that there is a problem with jellyfish on certain days. But again, nothing at all on the sands to indicate that there are going to be jellyfish in the water. And again, you can see plenty of people enjoying the ocean. Nice beach, Camelar. I really like this beach. Very family friendly because, as you can see, children over there, it stays quite shallow for quite a while. And some of the beaches don't do that. They drop away quite sharply. So if you've got younger children, you need to be careful. But here on Camelars Beach, it is very children friendly because it stays quite shallow and you can walk a reasonable distance out before it starts to get deep. But no sign of jellyfish. Plenty of people, you can see all the way down in the water. And I'm sure if it was a massive problem every day, there wouldn't be so many people in the water if people were getting stung. Excuse me, can I just ask you a quick question if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah.
Have you had any problem with jellyfish on the beach here in Camelot?
No, we've seen some, but no, never had problems.
You've seen some, but you haven't been stung or anything like that.
No.
It's all right. A lot of people are reporting that there are jellyfish in the water and people are getting stung, and I just wondered whether you... No? Okay, thank you very much for your time. Cheers, thank you. Well, there you go. I just picked a guy at random. I happened to notice he was speaking to his kids in English, so I thought he might be a good person to ask. He has seen some, but hasn't had any problems with them. Okay, so my final thoughts on this issue with the jellyfish here in Phuket. Whilst there are no doubt jellyfish in the waters just off the coastline, and it is best to be mindful of that, and if you suffer from allergic reactions to bees and wasps, that sort of thing, then you need to take extra care, because obviously you could have a reaction if you was to get stung by a jellyfish. How bad the problem is, I'm guessing it may be something to do with the winds bringing them in. So again, keep an eye on the flags. If it's very windy, just be mindful there could be some in the sea. Maybe carry, as I mentioned, a small bottle of white vinegar, just in case. It's not a big inconvenience to carry some around, but it's certainly going to be very effective. If you get stung, you can apply it quickly rather than having to try and find some after you've been stung. And I guess that really wraps this video up. Of course, come and enjoy the beaches. Don't over worry about the jellyfish problem, because I don't think it's a major issue. It's just something that I wanted people to be aware of, especially if you've got families, children getting stung. That's sort of what's prompted me to come out and do this video, because of course it wouldn't be a great experience for the family or indeed the children to get stung while over here. So just be mindful of it and enjoy the sea and the beach. And I guess that just leaves me to say, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, then please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, then please do consider it. I want to try and push the channel more forward this year, hopefully. And until next time, I'll speak to you on the next one.